This year's 10-day tribute to Charlie Parker, the Kansas City jazz icon, is bigger and better than ever. It's the 5th annual Charlie Parker celebration, and it's happening right now. We have KC Jazz Alive board member Steve Hargrave. Thank you so much for coming. So we're already going on. What's been happening already?
Well, the heart of the celebration is the jazz venues that feature live music year-round. So we've got 15 venues involved, 25 different performances at those venues, plus some special events with tonight's bird blindfold test, which is brand new.
It's a tongue twister, and you were successful at that. Bird's blindfold test. Right. How does that work, and where's it happening?
It'll be at the Westport Coffee House Theater, and it involves attendees listening to recordings of Charlie Parker and others. And the idea is to try to figure out who the musicians are or the name of the recording. And then you'll have a chance to turn tables on the professional musicians that will be hosting this and see if you can stump them with recordings of Charlie Parker.
Well, that sounds fun. I love fun and games like that. That's really great. But you're really trying to promote his music and what he has meant to Kansas City and to the world.
Exactly. We want Kansas Cityans to understand Charlie Parker's contribution as well as jazz fans do in Paris and Copenhagen and Hanover, Germany and New York. Because we've got a real treasure here that came from here. Charlie Parker was very important to the development of jazz. In fact, Miles Davis used to say you could tell the history of jazz in 4 words: Louis Armstrong, Charlie Parker.
Wow. So what did Charlie Parker, what is his niche in jazz? How did he change and transform it? How did it
He really changed the course of jazz, which had been very much swing music was the mainstream. And when he came along, he developed a technique which really changed the course of it to what we now know as bebop. Swing is still performed, of course, but bebop really became the mainstream, and it really became more of a musician's music than an audience music. The musicians really caught on, and they lost a few in the audience because of that change, because it wasn't danceable anymore.
So music appreciation is really a learned thing, isn't it? So we need to kind of get our kids and our young people out there and really understand and study and you know, absorb and hear.
Education is right at the core of what we try to do. The Kansas City Jazz Alive organization, we seek to raise the tide that lifts all boats, jazz boats specifically. And so during the Charlie Parker celebration, we have 2 more very special events in addition to the performances at the venues. Next Saturday morning, we have a historical tour which begins at 18th and Vine with a walking tour. Then buses take the attendees to 12th Street and Vine, where we have lunch and a musical tribute to Charlie Parker. Then they get back on the bus and we hit 13 different historical sites around Kansas City where jazz history was made. So we have that. Then Saturday evening on the 25th is our signature concert at the Gem Theater, which is Charlie Parker Past, Present, and Future, produced and hosted by Lonnie McFadden and our artist in residence, Devon Pennicott. So there are going to be a couple of dozen Kansas City musicians involved in that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last year's was a big hit. It was new last year, so this is our 2nd year with a signature concert, and that'll be our grand finale.
We'll definitely get out there and enjoy. Thanks for coming and sharing. If you need more information, I imagine just jump on the KC Jazz Alive website and find out all about the Charlie Parker celebration happening rest of the month.
That's right, through Saturday. CharlieParkerCelebration.org.